So just coming into Bramber now, very very old town, or village shall we say. It's even got its own castle, or the ruins of its castle here. Yeah, quite picturesque, and you can go and have a picnic up in the ruins. Yeah, very nice. The bridge we're crossing crosses the River Ada, which I believe possibly could go into Arundel, or is that the River Arun? Not sure. But, yeah, lovely little spot. Of course, all these properties cost a lot of money. I don't know if you can see it on the GoPro, but you can just about see part of the castle ruins up there next to the church. Bramber Castle, if anybody's interested. Thank you. Yeah. So, on to the next little Sussex village. Right, so we're coming into Stenning now, another old village, quite picturesque. Gets a lot of tourists in the summer. I think it's had some quite notable residents, and yeah, I think Laurence Olivier lived here for a while. I'm not sure, he may even be buried in the church here. But as I say, lots of tourists in the summer. Little old market town. There's, as you can see, the old flint cottages or flint houses. I would imagine, like most of these places down on the coast, this was quite a wealthy place to live. Looking at the property, a wealthy area. Some of the properties are really old, and lots of history. There's a little road on the bend in a minute. It's got a quaint little name. It's called Mouse Lane, and you can see the cottage on the corner there, the white one with the black timbers down there. Mouse Lane, there you go. Never explored it, but I'll take a little ride down there one day. So that was Stenning. So as you know, I love this bike, but I haven't talked too much about the nav system on it, the SatNav. I opted for the Navigator 6 to hopefully try and be a bit future-proof. Yes, it costs a lot of money, but I think, to be honest with you, from using other satellite navigation systems, the Navi 6 actually is well worth it, even if it's just for the screen. They've put a coating on the screen which is actually quite glossy, but what that does, it actually cuts out the reflection. Now you think it would work the other way, that a matte screen would be better for usage, but the glossy screen, you don't lose any visual, shall we say, as if you would do if the sun was behind you, and you know, with the sun glaring on it. And with the Nav 6, I mean, I can't talk about the Nav 5 about what it could and it couldn't do, but I've downloaded the Garmin SmartLink for the app as well on the phone, and that gives me live traffic, live weather radar, and if you wanted to subscribe, a host of other things such as parking and all the rest of it, and it even gives you the correct prices for parking. And then I suppose if you're doing a lot of trips into town, London or somewhere, you know, that would be quite useful to find cheap parking. But overall, I'm very, very impressed with the Navi 6. It offers a lot more, in my opinion, than the TomTom. I had the Rider 450, and that was a good SatNav, don't get me wrong, but the Navi 6, I believe, in my opinion, is a much better kit. I mean, for example, it did tell me a while ago that there was traffic congestion on this road, so as a little test I thought we'd come along just to make sure it was accurate, and behold, here we are. So, as I say, it could be just that everybody's out today enjoying this lovely Sunday or winter Sunday weather. You know, why not get out, have a ride, whether it's in your bike or in your car, should I say, or on your bike, or as this brave fellow is doing on his push bike. But he hasn't got heated grips or a heated seat, which is a must in my book. Right, we're coming up to Triumph dealer now in Washington, which isn't far from Worthing. Destination Triumph, and I have to say, they certainly looked after me when I bought my Tiger from them. So if you're interested in buying a Triumph, pop along and ask for Mick or Roger, and I'm sure they'll look after you, even if it's just a little ride, just to grab a coffee and a chat really, and have a look at their new machines. You know, I had the Tiger 800, which was a fantastic machine, but unfortunately it was the wrong bike for me and the missus. Just me on my own, fine. With the wife on the back, it wasn't so good for her due to the lack of comfort, shall we say. But I'm glad I bought one. I always wanted a Tiger, and I thoroughly enjoyed the time I had with it. But if you're really looking for a tourer, something that's going to be a European mile muncher, I would strongly recommend a BMW. Whether it's the pre-liquid cooled like this one, or the liquid cooled, I don't think you go far wrong, to be honest with you. I know I've certainly made the right decision. Well, talking of Tigers, somebody else enjoying this lovely winter weather. So what do I love about the BMW R1200RT? Well, in no particular order. First of all, I think it has to be comfort. You could ride this all day and get off it at the end of the day's riding and feel pretty good still, I'm sure. I mean, I've done 320 mile quick blat over to France and Belgium in 12 hours and on it, and thoroughly enjoyed it and got back feeling good. What else do I love? Well, I think the rideability of it. You know, it handles well, it's very well balanced, the brakes are spot on, it's got link braking. So when you touch the rear pad or rear brake, it brings on the front one as well. It's just extremely well done. You know, the finish on it as well is another thing I love. Superbly built. I mean, the Germans really do take a bit of pride with their machines, whether it's car or bike, and you know, toys on it. Well, it's got everything that I need. I love it's got ESA 2, so that's the suspension, which cover-offs, rider with pillion, luggage, sport, normal or comfort. I must admit I do tend to keep mine in the comfort mode, just softens it up a little bit. Yeah, and another thing I love about it, which I think does help enormously when you've got a bike, is that I love the look of it. I look at it and it just puts a smile on my face, whether it's from this position, this angle, riding the bike, or you know, when you're looking at it from afar, shall we say, and when it's got all its clothes on, you know, its panniers, it looks so outstanding. Everything just fits spot on, you know. It just smooth lines, nothing leery about it. And of course, another thing I really do like about it is shaft drive. No more chain adjustment, no more cleaning of the chains every 1,000 miles or whatever, depending on weather. No more buying cans of chain wax. No matter how much you put it on carefully and wipe off the excess, it still manages to get all over the number plate and over the rear wheel rim. Yeah, well, it protects the chain, but as I like a nice clean bike, I was getting fed up with wiping the muck off. Yep. So, spot on. Let's put a bit of cruise on, shall we? So this is a little village called Amberley. It's got its own castle. I believe actually there's a hotel within the castle grounds, or what, it may even be part of the original castle, I'm not sure. But as you can see, very, very old place. So this is an extension of Amberley. It's got a little museum, couple of nice little pubs, railway station, and a river, which I believe is the River Arun, which definitely does run through Arundel. Again, a town full of history and a castle. So the old river's full by the look of it.